Yo, what's up, Colts fans? Ben here from the 1 and 0 podcast. I know a lot of you Colts fans are kind of skeptical on what the Colts are going to do the rest of the offseason. Um, Personally, I don't think the Colts will sign any big free agents in the near future. I think a lot of this if they do sign any free agents up into the draft, I think a lot of it will just be depth signings. Um, it was around this time last year was when, after the month of April, or from April 1st up into the NFL draft, I think the only player they signed was Eric Fisher. Um, but there were no big free agents signed during the month of April. So most of their signings in April were re-signs from players that were already on the team. So I think that might end up being the case with possibly maybe Matthew Adams, Sky Moore, the other free agents that haven't been signed. And if you go ahead and look at the depth chart, you can see that a lot of these players that have a starting spot, Frank Reich and Chris Ballard really believe in, they trust, and they really like. Like for the wide receiver group, of course, Michael Pittman, Paris Campbell. He's been plagued with injuries, but they really love that guy. Ashton Dulin. Frank Reich spoke highly of Ashton Dulin plenty of times. Then tight end, you have Mo Ali Cox and Kylan Granson. I'm not sure what Kylan Granson can offer. He didn't get much playing time last year to even see what he can truly do. But Mo Ali Cox, I feel confident in Mo Ali Cox. I think if we grab another tight end in the NFL draft, I think that'll set that group, another weapon for Matt Ryan, because we all know that Matt Ryan loves tight ends. You have that left tackle position. Matt Pryor is the current starter, but we'll see if they like him at that spot. Backing up Matt Pryor is Sean Coleman. Sean Coleman, he's a 4th-round pick. I think that makes him a decent depth player if Matt Pryor can't handle the starting duties of a left tackle. Right guard. So you have right guard, Danny Pinter and Will Fries. That's going to be an interesting position to look out for during the season if they don't end up grabbing another right guard to start. But I'm excited for Danny Pinter. I think his time has come to get a starting job, and he shows a lot of potential. Defensive side, if you look on the defensive side, our defensive tackles are set with Grover Stewart, DeForest Buckner, Kwity Paye, and Yannick Ngakoue on both ends. If you look at their backups, you have Ben Banigou and Dayo Adengbo. Those guys have been plagued with injuries as well. Ben Banigou is one that has a lot of high expectations coming into this year. He's never contributed to the point where, they want to put him in that starting role. But then you have Kwity Paye on, starting. So I don't think he'll ever win the starting job, but he definitely will make a good depth player if he ever can overcome those injuries or overcome that lack of performance per se that Chris Ballard was talking about last offseason. And then defensive tackles, you have RJ McIntosh. He was just signed to a reserve future contract. Not sure if he'll be a depth player or if he'll just be part of the practice squad. Chris Williams, Rob Windsor. I know Rob Windsor was plagued with an injury last year, so he really didn't get to play. But I would like to see what he can offer. as a depth player, because he'll definitely make a good depth player if he can stay healthy. And then you have the linebackers, Darius Leonard, Barbie Okereke, and Zaire Franklin. Right now, Zaire Franklin does not have a backup, on that strong side linebacker spot. So, not sure if they're gonna. I'm sure they'll grab a linebacker in the draft, or if they decide to draft or not draft, sign a linebacker, maybe Matthew Adams um, or what. But um, backing up Darius Leonard, EJ Speed, Jordan Glasgow, Malik Jefferson. A lot of confidence in those guys. Bobby Okereke, Sky Moore is back up. So I think we just need to grab Zaire Franklin, a backup, pretty good depth player for that strong side linebacker position. For the cornerbacks, you have Brandon Faison and Kenny Moore. So Kenny Moore's backups are Isaiah Rodgers and Marvell Tell. They just signed Marvell Tell, or re-signed Marvell Tell. One of the beginning of free agent signings. Well, he was a re-sign, but that was one of the first few moves they had done right when the season ended. Brandon Faison, his backups are Anthony Chesley, Chris Wilcox, and Alexander Myers. For the safeties, you have Kari Willis and Julian Blackman. And then Julian Blackman's backup is Armani Watts. Kari Willis' backup is Will Redmond. I think we still need to grab another safety for Kari Willis. I'm not sure how that rotation works with safeties. I know in cover 3, they play with a cornerback could play safety. So you run the 3 linebackers, and then you have 3 safeties, but one of the safeties can be a cornerback. It doesn't always have to be a safety, right? A safety is just specifically what the position is consists of. Safety from ensuring that if the cornerback can't get to the tackle, the safety's there. If the cornerback gets beat, the safety's there. But I know a lot of people were upset that Armani Watts was signed and not Tyrann Mathieu. But like I said, y'all got to understand that Frank Reich and Chris Ballard don't sign big free agents. I think the biggest free agent they've signed was Eric Fisher. Yeah, I mean, you really look at the depth chart, and these are a lot of the players that they spoke highly of and they love. So if I look at this and I'm determining, okay, I don't think Frank Reich and Chris Ballard will sign any big free agents. If they do, I will be surprised, because say they did sign Tyrann Mathieu. Okay, well, say he were to take over for Kari Willis. Well, then Kari Willis, that tells Kari Willis, okay, well, they don't believe in my playmaking ability. They don't believe that I can get the job done. Whatever the case is, that's not good for team morale, first off. And second off, it's understandable that we want playmakers like Tyrann Mathieu to come into the team and make this defense unstoppable. And that's a dream scenario. And, unfortunately, we don't make that call. And if it were up to me, I would definitely bring in Tyrann Mathieu. It's definitely a veteran move to bring in Tyrann Mathieu and teach these safeties, okay, this is how I've been so successful in my time in the NFL. As is with the other positions as well. Yeah, I mean, that's really all I have for you guys. I don't think, like I said, I don't think the Colts will sign any more big free agents. Not that they did sign any big free agents. Brandon Faison and Armani Watts aren't necessarily big free agent signings. but I'm excited to see what they can offer, what they can bring to the table. I have seen highlights from their college years and from the teams that they were on. They look fierce. They look very versatile. They look like playmakers. Armani Watts more is like a replacement for George Odom at a cheaper price, but when he did play in coverage, he had a really good defensive grade when it came to that. So very excited to see what they can bring to the table. I do hope Frank Reich and Chris Ballard will prove me wrong. I would like to see them sign some free agents, maybe Jarvis Landry for the wide receiver room, maybe Tyrann Mathieu for the safety. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell what they can do because a lot of their transactions and their moves, their offseason moves, have been unpredictable. So, yeah, just right now, just got to look forward to the NFL draft and see who we can get to help us win the big one next year. So that's all I have for you guys. Make sure you guys give a thumbs up, comment, let me know what you guys think. If you think the Colts will sign any more big free, or not any more big free agents, but any free agents that are bigger than Armani Watts and Brandon Faison, let me know in the comments who you think that might be. Other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Deuce.